I applied actually 3 times. So I was rejected twice, and I finally got my basically application approved the third time. So please, if any one of you is applying multiple times, it's not that you need to give up. Please keep on trying. And also, I have to say that each rejections gave me like a boost to grow and a boost to explore what can I improve. And thanks to that, that is also growing. Like you are growing as a person and you're growing as a professional. And so please keep on applying. Even if you are not getting second or third time, I had actually one of the scholars, she was, I think, 5 times trying and she got on the fifth time. So please don't give up. You are in the right place. Just keep on growing. It was hard. Okay, so let me tell you, because you are rejected and you feel like awful. That's normal. Yeah, that's something it is, yeah. But then like you will sulk about the months, and then you start thinking about how I can kind of improve myself in order to be noticed by the because there is like a panel that is deciding on your fate, and how I can improve, like what can I do more. So when I was like in this like first stage rejection and second stage like second time rejected and everything like that, I started looking around. I started taking a lot of initiatives in my beside my work. I started to volunteer. I went to the organizations that are in my field, but also beyond my field. So I was an instructor. So I started working also for as an interpreter. I took courses in interpretation. I became like bridging the gap, for instance, was one of the interpretation course that I took. It's 40 hour like medical interpretation course. I took it. I also took a lot of courses in project management that not only helped to my candidacy to be seen by the panel, but also it helped me to organize my time much better. So it also helped me to grow, like I say. And I've been also starting volunteering in organizations such as CERT. This is a FEMA organization. Like this is actually a first responders who are volunteers. And so I just went to those courses and took them. And so basically, I think probably because I was multifaceted at the time when I came third time to apply for my application and to apply and for EHLS, that's probably why when they noticed me. And one of the panelists actually was talking in EHLS and he talked to me on the Zoom and he said, like, I noticed your application when you were applying, and that's why I voted for you. Yeah, because you really had like a multifaceted. You had such a broad experience, but also like not so broad. So because it was showing that you can work for the U.S. government in not only one capacity, like a language instructor, but probably you can also go and dive into interpretation or translation, or you can go to project management if you will be like able to and accept it. So I would say like think about how you can improve your application, what you can do now, so in order to do that. And there are so many ways how you can improve your application these days, because there are so many courses for free that you can take online. There are so many organizations that you can become affiliated with and see how you can help and how you can not only like be a volunteer, but probably take an initiative. I'm like a co-chair I was a co-chair in one organization. Now I am a communication basically specialist in another one organization. So just see, also don't go like my way is something that is working for me, but it doesn't mean that this is going to be your path or your way. Think what you feel that can shine in your background. So it's usually good to put maybe outline on paper what you want to put on. Let's say, I want to mention this, and that, and how I'm going to like have an introduction into that, yeah, like and the conclusion, how it's going to help U.S. government. So I would say maybe advice to think about the structure but of your writing of the essay, but also think about what information you are going to mention there. Yeah, so what information might be the best valued by the EHLS panel. Yeah, so I would say like think about how many languages do you speak. Like for me, for instance, was how many languages do I speak? I have project management. I'm going to put it there. I am instructor. I have been helping a lot of students with basically diplomats because I will be teaching them like I would how not to make any faux pas during like official presentation, and thanks to that they will be able like to let's say to foster relationships between the US and other countries. So I would say this was important for me to mention in my application. Again, this is my application. Your application should be again going around to your case, because if you are medical, let's say if you are you're doing medicine, basically that may be helpful to you to mention your publications, or maybe how many lives you saved, or in what also in what like was it like a difficult environment to work, I would say. Yeah, like let's say I would say that's like did you work in the environment that you had to show much more than you were able to showcase in normal kind of situations. For example, you were like in under distress, but you were still able to compete well, you were still able to do well, you were doing like three things at the same time, like you were teaching, you were working, you were I don't know, you were taking care, I don't know, maybe taking care of your whole family, you were helping out your relatives to getting out from the Afghanistan, and it's still you were able to to do everything else besides that. So I would say like think about your life experience and how it will show like some like how you can apply it in your studies in HLS, because you will have like pretty much sometimes you won't have time to eat well. Yeah, I don't want to scare you, but because there's so much work to do and so much improvement to do during the HLS, like I find out on myself at least. I was trying, like, I'm like that driven, like, I want to achieve much better scores than I had before. And I had to basically push myself to the limits. And sometimes you push yourself to the limits, really. Yeah. So you have to showcase in your application that you had such experience, that you were able to push yourself to the limits, and you were able to overcome all the challenges, and you basically succeeded in what you set up as your goal. I had actually three very strong recommendation letters, if I remember correctly. There were three. So I reached out. One of them was basically from my student. One of my students wrote for me, very good, very well done. Basically, he even showed it to me. Then there was one of the academic, basically scholar that we had a research together, and another one was my supervisor, or even like you can go to the former supervisors, and if they really liked your job, how you did your work and everything else, they can like you can talk to them and see if they can write for you something excellent, like it should be showing how you're like coming and changing the world, yeah, more or less, how you will be improving the world if you will become an HLS scholar.